Okay, so today I'm going to continue this, and I'm going to basically keep in mind that I have the ability to, oh, this is actually such a beloved card that everybody loves and always says to get, not that I can really get it on demand. All zombies get +1/+1 in frenzy, shuffle 3. This is actually a pretty worthwhile card. I was going to just say, if I save up to 1700, I can get the zombie hero. But instead, I could get this one, and then I'll still have enough within room of Bad Moon Rising. I feel like I'm almost obligated to take that, though, right? Let me try to see what kind of rewards we get here. Only rank 15. But obviously, I've been ranked 20 before a couple times. I just don't play enough now, even to do that. Not that I was playing that much even before that. Bitches are fun. I love... Oh, I already read that. Yeah, chess doesn't work as good as weed and money. I mean, weed is easy enough to come by. That I don't know how attractive that is. Everybody has weed nowadays, if they really want it. Okay, we got one new card from that, which is actually kind of disappointing. Super rare, could be legendary. Keep going, keep going. There's the Doom Shroom that's actually not even that good. Or I was talking trash. I was disappointed at the beginning, but we did get a couple good things there. The cornucopia thing is pretty good. It's like bootleg Bad Moon Rising. Like, just not as good because it's more expensive. Zombies here get +3, which is okay, I guess. Good with the smash or somebody trying to be a bit tanky. When played, conjure a mushroom and it gets +2, which is any conjuration effect is going to be good. When you play a plant, deal 1 damage to zombie hero. This can be very good, but it's, you know, give it team up and kind of hide behind and stuff like that. Destroy a zombie here with 3 or less is okay, right? So those are at least good, exciting cards to have. And so how many gems did I get from that, though? Why does it feel like it used to give me gems and it doesn't anymore? Maybe that's only because I got to... Or wait, I started rank 10, but I was only rank 15. So how does that make sense? That's not a very... that's too generous of a return. I thought it was supposed to be a less rewarding thing than that. And of course, it doesn't show the daily quest until you've already played a game or something. So I didn't get any gems from that. But if I get to 1500, which I won't actually probably this episode, but I'll get the... I guess I could get it next time. Or I want the Octo Zombie, so I'll get that, but it doesn't actually work. Wait, what is it even showing me there, though? See, this is almost a bug. It was showing me something, but that's not actually... Unless it was meant to be this one, but it's not. Because the Octo Zombie is not... Or no, I guess it is in here, but there's no real special value in doing that. Legendary 10%, right? But how many legendaries are in that? There's only 4. That would actually be a pretty good ratio. I'll buy 13 packs of this just to get the Octo Zombie because it is one of my favorite cards in the game. I've always loved that. Have you ever played footsies? When I'm tired of chess, I'll slowly start playing it. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Like in real life, like just you should look into footsies and it's the shit, seriously. Let's see. Most of the stuff in here is actually pretty good. Guaranteed you get 3 of the fucking surfboard guys, which I already think I have a couple. It's only 100. I mean, there's too many things that I guess I want here. And yeah, people at the beginning said, oh, save up for the 10-pack thing. But you really think I'm patient enough to do that? I'd rather waste 500 multiple times over to try to get the thing. To get all these stupid ass event cards. But no, the point is if I save up to 1750, I can get the zombie hero, the Yeti, because I have an adequate legendary to try to do that. Other than that, I want to save up at least 1,000. So the only way I'm going to get that thing is if I get... I want to do it for the Octo Zombie, honestly. Even if there's a small chance. Or, I mean, you can get the virus thing from this too, apparently. Let's do one of them, but now it's gonna... I'm not gonna get the virus thing then, unless I somehow get a ridiculous amount of gems. Because I want to make sure I always have 1,000. It's a mobile game, not in real life. Oh, okay. I've never heard of it, actually. I don't know what it is. Wait, so what did I get from that? I got like 2 cards? What the hell even happened? It's one thing if I had some of them already before, but maybe I just kind of bugged it out. Okay, let's just add what we can here. Oh, look at that. I almost have a full green shadow deck too. Probably the biggest part of my collection that I like the closest one I have to any of the deck recipes already in there, as if it should have taken this long to even get there. We already have 2 of those, so I can assume that I already would have them if I wanted it. And I have 0 of them actually in there, so no upgrade for Green Shadow. And sometimes, again, there's a temptation to put stuff in there just to put it in there, just because it's new and different. This would be consistent with the Green Shadow, or I mean with the Captain Combustible aggro idea. This one you already had, so I don't want more of them. This one I think I might have... No, this one I don't have. So this is kind of okay, but it's not entirely consistent with the aggro mindset. It's kind of too slow and too weak to do that. So now I have to decide, what do I want to get rid of to make this happen? When you play a plant, deal 1 damage to zombie hero, and it's bullseye, so that's excellent, right? But what would I have to sacrifice to do it? And the answer is... That's a tough decision, actually. I'm not a big fan of anti-hero, but this is a good card, too. I could get rid of one of these, but this is a 3. This also gets a double attack. Those are not bad. This is not bad. I'll get rid of this, but I kind of regret it already, so I'll just have to, you know, whatever, live with it for now. All of this is kind of important at the 3 cost level. I feel like I don't often use this to its maximum potential, so I should get rid of that in order to have the conjuration effect. We get rid of a whole row of mushrooms for just a single mushroom. And we'll do Wall Knight over here. Can you look at some YouTube clips of it before you get off? Okay, sure. Or I could just look at it on here itself, because I can just play mobile games on this, as I'm doing right now, sadly enough. That's why this game is actually dying out, because they were too stupid to put it on PC. So those ones we already had, so I don't really care about that. This is good, and it certainly suits the style of play of Wall Knight. But I don't know if 3 or less is really that valuable. There'll be certain times where it is, because it's like such an oddly statted thing. It'll be like something with a crazy effect, right? So if there's multiple things, or that doesn't even really happen as zombies, but what's something I could get rid of here that's not? You definitely need 4 of those. You should always try to get rid of something with a similar cost, but there's no such thing that I would want to do. I feel like these 2 are kind of pointless, right? I'm not really getting the synergy of them. It's a 2D fighting game similar to Street Fighter. Some say it's a perfect fighting game. But is it mobile exclusive? That's the real question. And if so, why do people do that? We have that little innuendo guy here that I don't think I've made very good use of actually so far. This is such a perfectly designed deck actually in terms of the number of everything that I have. Like I want all these counts of everything. Right, all the numbers kind of line up where I don't want to get rid of anything. I feel like maybe I get rid of this one, but I'm not too happy about that either. You might think get rid of this pineapple, but you really want to make sure you have that. I guess it's okay. Some of these changes I'm making are arguably not even optimal. I'm just doing them for the sake of it because I want to see some of these new cards in action, just for the fun factor, in what is effectively a Nuzlocke-ish version of this playthrough of this game. Because, whatever, just a normal playthrough wouldn't have been exciting enough. This one is good too for the Solar Flare aggro potential. We could maybe use both of those. These we already had. This almost doesn't suit Solar Flare, right? So I'm not even going to worry about it. That's too slow paced. We are trying to play this degenerate aggro style as well. What could I get rid of to acquiesce to this? And the answer is the Dr. Pepper thing is stupid because there's nothing that's actually healing you here, right? Or you could yeah, like why do I even have these things in there? When a plant does damage and survives, heal your hero for that much. But why do I even need that? Or I guess part of it's just to remove what they have. When it does damage, heal your hero that much. You can create some kind of endless loop that's actually pretty good. It's cross-platform for PC. Oh, okay. You made a 600, draw a card. I guess I could get rid of some things that just have too many copies. Right, like... I don't know. I always feel like you have to have 4 copies of the squash because it's like the only hard removal that I actually have. So if I ever need that, I'm kind of just locked in to, you know, there's no other kind of it that you're ever going to have. So we have 6 cards with Smash, we have 2 cards with Infinity, and we have 3 cards with Super Brain. So the Smash got spoiled a little bit. It's on Steam. I kind of want to play it on mobile now, though, just for the novelty of it. Give myself an excuse to play another mobile game. That you have 5 of them now, which is unusual that it even lets you have that. I guess a normal player would just disenchant it. That one we already had too, so like I said, I can always assume that if I wanted to use it, I already would have, right? It's +2/+2 when it destroys a plant. I feel like it's not actually going to come into play, though, where it gets to do that. Right, like, I don't know how often that's going to happen. Zombies here get +3. Now, do I have a similar environment that I'm not too happy about? Because I don't really feel the need to do that. I do like the tanky quality of it, but I would... Or you know what? We could often not really use this. All zombies get +2, or zombies here get +3. I would almost have to give that up to do it. Right, and then I could just replace it. Move a plan, draw a card. I want to use some of these things just for the sake of using them. You know, I'll do it. Or I could get rid of this. When a plan is played, move it here. That gives you much more control, but... I don't know. So some of these decisions I'm making are kind of bad, actually. But I can always just change back. But I only change like once at the beginning of the episode. That's kind of a rule set, too. I don't need more of that. I don't need more of that. Like... all these random rules, and I can't craft anything or disenchant anything. I can't obviously spend real money. It's a free to play run. I also can only play as each hero only once per episode, so like until I lose, and then I have to move on to the next one. And if I run out, then the episode would end, even if I went on that long. And then I also have to not really look anything up, not really take any advice, but then I also can only change my decks at the beginning of the episode. Right, like I can't change it in the middle if I want to adjust. So I have all these different rules and formats, obviously, to this that are just kind of random and of my own doing. They have huge tournaments in Asia like they do with Tekken, really. Okay, this we already had, I think, right? We have them there. That one we already have, so that's the easiest way for me to just rule out having to change stuff. Because again, if I already had 3 copies and I didn't have it in there, that means I probably just didn't want it in there at all. So let's go ahead and start with Captain Combustible, like I always give him the lead start. So I wasted 100 gems on that, or by going through that, we actually got the daily quest, so it just takes some time. We have to win 5 games, we get 100. It's very hard for me to stay on the positive with these things. Like, if I get up to 1500, which is mathematically just not going to happen, but if I was able to do it, then I would buy the card, the virus card. So if I get really close to it, I might buy it at the beginning of next episode. So I'll be like 1335, almost 14, and I'll get like some kind of league reward too if I get to like rank 5, right? Because the season reset. But I'm already ranked 10, which I don't get. Maybe they changed how that worked, or they realized what a filthy casual I am, so they're trying to help me out and give me all the bonus that I can get. There's like that silly echo too in the background with the way that works, like when they first appear or whatever. But yeah, the friends list has been bugging out too, and I haven't been able to play anybody ever. Like, okay, so we can ignore them since we're trying to go aggro as well, although that has certain pitfalls to it as well. Let me actually test something. How long does it take to actually rope in this game? Like if I don't move, let me try to time it. Okay, so starting now. So, okay. I'm kind of counting in my head. Let's just count how long it'll be, like probably 30 seconds or maybe more than that, since it is a filthy casual game. Or if I'm clicking something or moving something, maybe it accounts for that. If you don't, well, whatever, I don't care. I wanted to see it, but wait, these two are going to be a problem. But again, maybe I should just ignore it, but I really shouldn't either. And should it really matter whether you do anti-hero or not? But I guess in that case it does, because you get to still survive. But yeah, like even the rope should be quicker in this game because, oh, it's so simple and casual that nobody would even care about it normally. Look at the balls that we have, though, to ignore what they're doing and just go fully face. But this is the whole style that we do, and it actually has been working to an extent. You can do this, and one of them will actually still survive. And then I can use that to try to put this behind it there and team up and get some of the maximum value. I mean, aggro versus aggro is at least good because you get to, you know, not have to worry. But then again, that gives you incentive to worry because you feel like, you know, you feel like maybe sometimes you have to then, both players will give up playing aggro just to try to survive themselves. So it kind of makes it a futile point. But even here, I'll ignore what they're doing to some extent and try to put that dude behind here, but maybe not. Or no, wait, that doesn't even have team up. Like, one of them has team up and the other one doesn't, actually. Damn it. So the point is I can't even put that down very effectively. Fuck. Like, there's no reason to hold anything back, but... whatever, just share the love a little bit. That's another deadly one. I got kind of screwed over on that turn. Move a zombie, gets +1. We should try to at least win the 5-game set. Yeah, right when I was even starting the episode saying that, oh, if I get to 1750, I'll buy the thing. But then I get distracted by the pack. Now I'm getting distracted by the virus thing. It is good, and it could turn into something really transformative, like a whole win condition strategy, everything like that. And so I would be kind of... but then you would need kind of more of them, right? This is why even doing this doesn't work. Having one of them is never going to be enough, because you have to, like... let me actually read it again. You put it in there, and then it makes more of them, and then you could... like, it's almost like a Jade Idol type of thing. But you can keep playing them again to get more of them in there and make an infinite amount. So if the game drags out, it can be really good. So here you get to conjure something, and you actually get to play it too right away. At least I feel relatively safe. The strike through is going to just trigger my block meter. Or... depending on what I get from it, it could fuck me over. But everything you have here is offensive. No, but you get like that little comet thing that could be used as removal, I guess. Oh shit, right on cue too. It's not, that's not a block meter, it's a lifeline. I get to decide which one I get to get. And thanks to that, it turned the whole tide and I just win the game right away. Yeah, what we would also need is like the league reward. But yeah, let me look at that once more just to see. All zombies get +1/+1. Shuffle 3 going viral cards into your deck. Draw a card. But the point is, if you can get the game to drag on long enough, this can be really good, because obviously you shuffle 3 of them and then you just keep doing this over and over, and that can be super, super fun and super good. And towards the beginning of the playthrough, people were actually saying to use that, either because I saw it, somebody else use it a lot, or whatever. They were just saying it's just a good card. But you would have like 4 of them and just try to really cheese it and abuse it. Which, of course, I'm not going to have like 4 of anything unless I just happen to get it on my own. But yeah, if I wanted 2 Dark Matter Dragon, or 4 Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, I'm going to make maybe the same mistake that I did last game, like where I just ignore what they're doing. But I mean, see, I could even have put it there and it wouldn't have died, so you would have traded in favorably and negated the anti-hero effect. So I almost just should have done that. Now this turn is a total bust. And even doing this would be pointless if they had some way to remove it, which I don't know even if that's going to happen. Right, that's just one of those dead turn nightmare plays where you just can't do anything. What a great idea. I mean, it still trades in, but it was not exactly the most efficient play. Negate your own anti-hero effect and just whatever. He's not confident enough that he can rush me down, or he's so confident that he has another one. You don't have enough mana to actually do anything, and I almost would like to get the synergy from this, but I can't now. Oh man, these were two like nightmarish turns back to back. Because now I have to do the Leafy synergy, or at least I wanted to. Fuck. So they'll trigger the block meter as well. We'll just do that just for the heck of it. I fear no zombie, but the block meter, that terrifies me. I forget what that quote even is, but that thing, it scares me looking at the block meter. Of how stupid and bullshit it can be, so we'll at least worry about it now with respect to... We get some of the same ones from that effect so many times. Right, like I've seen this so many... I don't know why I would have a bias for that. Conjure a Leafy card. There must be so many Leafy cards in the game, but why do I get that same one over and over? It's like, conjure an event card gets plus... Okay, so... I mean, I'm all for conjuration in itself. Like, it's gonna give me something better than what I have normally, or at least it's just giving me extra value, period. Right, so I don't burn out of cards in what is obviously a deck that just relies on trying to just play everything for the most base value possible. We can use this as like a stupid form of removal if we need. You could do a 3 and a 3. I think it's very unlikely you'll be able to kill this, honestly. So we'll pop the block meter and then we'll do at least a decent amount here. It won't be quite enough to kill you, but... Okay. Oh, fuck, I misjudged. It'll be very unlikely that you can kill that, but actually... Obviously, Deadly takes care of it, so that was kind of a bad decision. That's why you shouldn't overcommit to just like one thing. But between these two, they really should be dead. Or actually, if you had enough, you could just do, you know, kill it with this guy too. Which for all intents and purposes, you'll still do that, but I guess the reason why you might not is the block meter itself. Right now, there should be really nothing you can do at all. Yeah, but I wonder how people even play like a fighting game on their phone too effectively. They'll have like those little controller setups to go along with it. But yeah, like, you know, games like this are at least suited for mobile, despite how disappointing it is that it's not on PC or anything. Just the fact that you know, it's just like a clicker kind of card game or something like that. A lot of these auto battler type games, Raid Shadow Legends, like with minimal interactivity, but you still, or even at least not real-time interactivity, because then that feels like, I don't know, it's just a bad criteria for anything. 1 mana, 2/3, right? That's just like one of those power creep type of things. It's not about whether the card's good or not. With Bullseye, with Environment, like, it's just better statted than anything else you've ever seen. Right, so I would use a card like that not because of any other synergy or effect or because I'm going to use an Environment. I would do it just because it's just better statted. 1 mana, 2/3 is good by any metric. With Bullseye, there's like no downside to it, really. We got the little Environment / Heights buff, which of course that would incentivize me to have kept the other Environment, but of course I just want to use the new card. So of course, you're making a pizza watching offline on Twitch. Trying to make me hungry now, mentioning food. Who would always do that? I feel like Nightmare would always talk about food. I I guess I could do like this and then do that to trade in, but I don't really even want to. What if I just let this do its thing and I don't really care? Or yeah, I was stupid and bought like a gaming phone one time, and then I've never used it for anything, but just like you could potentially emulate stuff, or you could potentially, you know, who needs the Nintendo Switch when you have that for like Paper Mario 1000 Year Door? You could have just done that from the first place, just do it on there. Yeah, I almost thought I might try stuff like that, but then I never did. So now I can always do it on stream in a way that I don't actually have to use the fucking phone at all. But it's just always been something I made fun of or found so awkward. You can go here and then you can do the buff as well. But again, the environment itself is not really going to happen. But it can be a great combo with that. Like if you do the team up, then you would buff obviously both of them for the price of one if you happen to put them either on the slant, as I call it, on the, what is it, the height. Or obviously just if you put an environment down somewhere else. Well, my board has been pretty nasty this game, actually. Right, they just haven't been able to deal with it. He does at least get through. That thing was like the MVP, that little Iron Clown guy. We have Iron Man at home. Alright, that's 3 wins. Let's just go till we get 5 and buy that stupid virus thing, but it won't be... I won't have nearly enough. Or look how fast that queue time actually is. What is the balloon even supposed to represent for this month? Like for last month, for May? I don't even know. Yeah, combustible sometimes really hogs the spotlight at the beginning, and I don't mind it one bit because whether you're going to win or lose, it's going to be super fast paced, right? You're going to know the outcome. Although in a game like this, that's kind of less an issue. Even the longer type of styles of play are not going to take actually all that long. One thing I'm surprised I've never done is actually fallen asleep while streaming, because sometimes I'm so goddamn tired. As much as I like the leafy thing, I actually feel incentivized to do that, because the earlier you get that out, the better it's going to be. But no, there's so many times where I'm like borderline asleep or like half asleep. One episode of Hearthstone in particular, I was like really, really close to it. But that's not even my fault. That's just called playing Hearthstone in 2024. Haha, because, you know, it's so boring that you'll be natural to fall asleep. Honestly, dude, let's just go all in. Don't hold anything back. That's the one trick to this deck. Not only do you play on curve, but you just sort of face roll and don't hold anything back ever and just play it all the time. That's good. At least they're trying to deal with it. Oh shit, that was a really clutch play. Holy fuck. That was so efficient. Like that turns the tide of the whole thing. Where I was just kind of running away with it. It's Friday gaming all night. Let's see, what is this thing? Amphibious when playing an environment, bounce a zombie. I don't know if in that context the height counts as an environment. I feel like it doesn't, but I forget now. Okay, let's just do those two together, and then... Yeah, I guess that doesn't really apply to me, because I kind of just work every day anyway, so whether it's weekend or not, my schedule is kind of weird like that. But I love that one day I actually took off work to play chess all day. I played like 14 hours or whatever, and I actually did a stream like that, just because I was kind of pissed and I wanted to. Like, I'll quit my job and play chess all day every day, and that'll be my thing. Which actually, if the whole streaming thing took off, I would actually not mind doing that, because at least the basis is you're not making money from chess, you're making money from streaming. So then it becomes worth it. Like, and then you would at least use that as a benchmark to try to become better at chess. But of course, people don't do that. Anna Kramling, Botez, you can just tell they don't give a shit. There's people who don't make any money from it, who work harder than that and become better than, like, you know. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that there's a certain obligation that comes with it. Like, you have to respect, you know, the process that goes into it of just... I'm probably even missing lethal because of how much insane amounts of damage we're doing, but I think we can easily do this. But no, you would feel the onus on you, like you have to do it. You have to become a grandmaster if you've been that successful. And when this hurts a zombie, freeze that zombie. I want to play this honestly just for the sake of doing it. Even if it's not the best play, it's just interesting. This guy kind of reminds me of like Cranky Kong or whoever the scientist guy is, like in Donkey Kong 64 and stuff, who's always giving you these potions. He looks kind of like equally crazy, but when we get like a barrel right on command too, mentioning Donkey Kong. Wait. Oh, okay, never mind. They do have a lot of cards in their hand that makes me a little bit nervous if they can somehow pull a heal or something out of their ass. Played an environment, bounce a zombie. Like, their deck is obviously very slow paced to where they would win that kind of thing if it drags out a little more. Not that you would need much to be able to do that, because you get to, hell yeah, get that money. You cut a yard today. Nice. Oh, come on. This guy comes up with the clutchest things whenever you think you're winning. Wow, there's no way I can possibly lose this, can I? He has 8 brains left. This is going to fall exactly as he planned, but as long as he doesn't have a way to actually play it in, or let's just do this just to be sure then, right? Or let's do this first, but it doesn't seem like he'll have an answer from the water, and none of this stuff is going to heal him, so... But now the curve doesn't work exactly right, but you know what? I'll take my chance. I think he's just going to die, and I don't think he'll have an answer. If he does, I'm okay with it, but... That's kind of just desperately looking for something, but whatever he gets is not going to save him, I bet. Okay, that still doesn't work. Oh, okay, so we actually win. The fact that they concede means they must not be bots and be actual players, but I've never gotten like an actual satisfactory confirmation for sure that you're going to, whether you are or aren't playing against the bot in this game. I actually don't even know. But what I will say is, even if they are bots, they're somehow still pretty enjoyable to play. Maybe partly just because the decks I use are so bad that it still becomes, you know, possibly exciting. That's kind of a bad top-heavy start, but... But yeah, so far still the only zombie hero I could get is the same one, because it's, you know, that Yeti, just because of the fact that we're able to, we got the legendary of each type to kind of correspond, of each class. That's how I say. We have to have at least one legendary of each class type. That's just my own little, whatever, unlock condition, which is, you know, you wouldn't think it's that big of a deal to do, or it gives you like an incentive to do it too. Like, now we know that whatever deck we make with them, as soon as we get them, is automatically going to be good. Like with combustible, we had that option, obviously. But the thing is that it sort of matters less in the aggro style, but it means that you're going to be guaranteed to always get... You're always going to get like a good deck, because you're going to have a couple legendaries in there already. But that's not even entirely why I even am doing it. It just feels like, whatever, I don't want to just buy one at random, so the criteria for potentially buying one is at least it's going to be a little more expensive, or it's going to take a little more of a condition than, you know, otherwise I could just be free to buy any and all of them at any time, assuming that I want to waste my gems on that too, which I have had no reservation to actually do that. Like, with the event cards I got, I could have literally gotten like, how many packs? Like probably 20, 25. I've gotten at least like 4 or 5 of them, it feels like now. I actually forgot. And whether some of them are even that good or not, at least I find them interesting. This is leafy too, isn't it? No, it's root animal. This is leafy. You know what? This is just kind of a better curve thing to still do, even though I'm not too big a fan of this card. Some of these ones that get buffed on the height are pretty bad because they'll be like a 4 mana 2/2 that gets +2/+2 if you play it on a height, like the one climber chick or whatever, right? But why not just get a 4 mana 4/4 then? Like, why should you have to do that? Alright, so here you get the potential to buff this, obviously. Right, you could just do both of these, get +2. Using the little berry thing on that is not going to work anyway. Berry Blast sounds like a drink you would get at Dairy Queen or some shit. Yeah, I'm too tired. I won't be able to do the whole staying up all night and playing chess anyway, so I can fall below 1400 rating or some shit. But god damn, this chick's got too much AoE and everything. I can't do anything. But I can still sometimes rush them down, but maybe I won't be so lucky this time. That is leafy, right? I think I just checked that. And they'll keep getting buffed, but the problem is it'll still die out to something else if I just... Or no, actually, it might survive based on this. 8-5, they probably weren't expecting that, and actually, even if they were, whatever, like what they had wasn't good in the first place. They get rid of the double attack capability, they play sort of their ace card here, which is pretty good value. 7 mana, 6/7. The name barely fits on the little nameplate there too. This gets +1/+1 and destroy plants here when you draw a card. One of those mechanics that I kind of make fun of because, you know, you get rewarded for basically just doing nothing, like, you know, as if you weren't going to do that anyway. This is kind of a waste because, like, really, I don't know. This is gonna die anyway, but I guess I'll do it. I could very easily lose this just because they have too much value. Yes, of course, I should have played around that because it wouldn't have worked on the on the 3/1, but... And then we still could have traded in with the help of the Berry Blast. Okay, they just have way too much stuff, but at least they've had to use it. Right, but I'm already going to be too low, or I'd have to get something really good to... from the block meter, but I'm really not going to. Or they're just getting straight up bullseye, so it's not even going to help me. Okay, that was kind of a little bullshit how many answers they actually had for everything. But at least you see that their hand was sort of a little burnt out. Okay, but that was still a good four game win streak with that. Let's do the smash here. I'm fine with just getting to the 5 wins. That's good enough since I started kind of late too. Right, so it'll be like 13, almost 1400, which doesn't really make me feel too confident about the whole getting the virus thing. I'll think about it if I do it maybe at the beginning of next episode. And I want to look at this game that he was mentioning. I'll just look at it on the thing here. On the App Store. Since we are in mobile game mode anyway. We've played 2 mobile games in a row already. Like, chess technically is of that caliber at least. Because it at least feels right that you would be able to, you know, it's very suited for it at least. Turn-based, all you have to do is click something once in a while. It's not like super intensive action-based unless you really play Blitz or something. That's why you would think I would like the faster formats more, with as much as I complain about the drawish nature of the game. But then the way you win or lose still is a result of something that's not fun. Like, it's kind of... you know, unsatisfying. Like, oh, they only lost because you were a little faster than them, so it doesn't really feel like that's meaningful. If you want to play a real-time game, just play a real-time game. But so we're gonna lose him that way. Play a Pat all Pat Scout +1. I'm playing this one kind of even a little bit aggro, which is a little bit dumb. That's not really what the Smash is meant to be about. Or even the way that my deck is constructed is still not meant for that, even though the flag guy might make you think that. But no, you're basically trying to, I mean, he loves armor as much as I do even. But I just don't have enough cards that have it, or unfortunately there aren't enough cards that actually... There aren't enough cards in the game that actually give you sort of variable amounts of it, like +2 armor, +3 armor. You could have done so many things with it. And people might say, oh, well, plus multiple armor would be overpowered, but you would kind of appropriately stat them. It would be like a 6 mana 4/4, but with like 2 armor instead of 1 or something. That text kind of bugs out on that one a little bit. And again, some of these designs are just based purely on a pun sort of name or joke that they have. Grizzly bear, more like grizzly pear. You know what they say, it's true what they say, never get between a grizzly pear and her cub. Doubly true for zombies. Alright, so their board is pretty intimidating, and I was gonna say that they're gonna burn out if I can deal with it, but actually not, just because Zombie tricks cost 1 more. Doesn't even bother me too much because it just feels like that's not even really the issue right now. Right, I can play whatever I have, it's just not enough to deal with their board. So I have to deal with the stupid Triceratops. Don't we see enough of those in Arc? We don't need to be traumatized by them here too. Is this gonna shit all over my side of the board the way they do in Arc? Like, actually, that's a mechanic. Yeah, what a tough choice. 6 mana 7/8, or like, this is almost like a legendary quality thing right there. 6 mana 7/8 is a great statting to begin with, right? And then you also get Amphibious, like, even without any other effect. That's just such an awesome card, and I love stuff like that that sort of has value above its cost, even if you sacrifice effects for even if you sacrifice effects for something else. For statting, it's still worth it. Like a 5 mana 7/7 with no effect, or even sometimes even a negative effect, I would still consider worth it. As much as I'm fluffing that up, they were able to deal with it, but at least it still did its part. So this one's a little bit annoying, but comparing this guy, the raw zombie, to the Brainana is the ultimate clown show, because, you know, it's just objectively worse in every fucking way. The evolution does a bonus attack. Okay, so let me try to do Green Shadow here and hope he saves us. Wall Knight's been pretty fun. Pretty much the only one I don't enjoy playing as Plants to Solar Flare, despite how much everybody loves her, because obviously you get to... I don't really like the anti-hero effect, and if I'm going to play it like it's aggro, then I'll just do it anyway without, you know... I'll just do it anyway without actually doing the... You know, by doing Captain Combustible now is just a better version, so... Not that I really like Solar Flare that much to begin with. You don't have to play... You don't have to play too aggressively here, right? Because I'm sort of mid-range-ish with the 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruits, so you gotta assume your win condition is gonna be kind of like... Right, like, let's save that for actual removal later, which is what any common sense player would do anyway, but, you know, just sometimes you feel a little balls to the wall. keys to the pod, maybe, is the PG way of saying it. I don't even know where that expression originates. Balls to the wall. Like, don't put your balls against an electrical outlet. Right? That's some extension of the joke by, like, Angry Video Game Nerd or somebody else. Like, stick your dick in a light socket or in an electric outlet. That's what it means to put your balls to the wall. Zombie tricks cost 1 less. I mean, I'll do it just as basic removal. Now I'm gonna get cucked on my 5th win by, you know, we win 4 in a row, and now we're gonna lose with all the rest of the heroes combined. But this thing is a little deceptive. Like, it's still a good card, but especially for the cost, you know, again, what's the downside being just if you hit them in the face, it'll just die, you know, without you even having to try to trade into it. Well, that's not Leafy. What is going to be Leafy here? Nothing is actually. That should trade in regardless. This guy is literally me with the glasses and everything. Average glasses wear. A zombie middle manager. Plus one when another zombie gets hurt. Okay, so the main thing that concerns me is sometimes the size of their hand. If they're able to, you know, sort of outlast me that way, that's the clearest way that they can beat me very easily. If they just have that longevity. The Leafy thing is a lot more valuable than you might think, because that card could single-handedly win me the game, but I get punished by having to do it again, which is still good. I mean, if I get those on an infinite loop, but I'm going to run out of Leafy stuff even if I do that. Gonna be like a whole metric you can measure who's gonna win by, like the conjuration count. If you conjure more cards than me, you're always gonna be better off. You're gonna win just based on that alone. Not even because of what you get has to be that good, but just, again, just a raw numbers game of, you know, one player's gonna burn out in top deck and the other one's gonna have so many things that they got from all these other effects. I heard you like Leafy, so I played a Leafy next to a Leafy so I can get another Leafy and then play it again right there. So what you can do now is just, that thing has deadly anyway, so it's kind of a waste, but deals +1/+1 and destroys all plants here. You tired? I haven't even cracked a cold one open. Pizza on deck though. Yeah, I am pretty tired. I normally sleep pretty early actually these days. I can't say that I've ever done actually a 24-hour stream. Sometimes I've done those like 12-hour ones, like half a day, but then, you know, it just doesn't seem worth it to stay up all night. Yes, yes, the Leafy you like. Yeah, a different kind of Leafy over here. Make another one and lane to the right. It's gonna be too late though if I do that. Damn it, am I actually gonna lose this shit again? Like, they have way too strong of a board, so there's nothing I can do about it. Why is Captain Combustible just getting the easiest matchups? Or they're just so good at ending the game quickly before that can really come into play. Like, it won't matter who you're going up against, you'll just zerg them down before they can stop you. You won't even need to get the block meter yet, but if we can deal with that stupid 7/7, I would have a chance, right? But this is amphibious, and it would be great because, I mean, the dark matter dragon fruit would be so perfect, but this is my problem, is I'm not even going to be able to play it. Or I could rely on the block meter to save me, but you're not going to get enough stuff. Oh shit. Right, that's at least kind of worth it, and I'm still not dead, but... Or, wait. Bullseye Frenzy Armor, this dude's literally a la Kier, I call him. Just like a jack of all trades, master of none type of card. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I'm just dead because of the... It's the block meter's fault for not saving my dumbass, even though... Or imagine if that first hit actually would trigger the... Well, no, would get you within range of the block meter triggering, and therefore the second one would actually do it. I don't really enjoy these other two that much. Super Brains and whoops. Oh, I thought I clicked on it and it was like loading something. We'd have a better chance winning as a plan. I just wanted to get that 5th win, dude. We got the first 4 so easily, and again so quickly. You could spend like an hour doing the same thing I did in like 15 minutes with combustible, because that's just the nature of aggro versus control. So even if like you have a 75% win rate with one and a 70% win rate with the other, you would still rather do the 70% if it's going to be an aggro deck versus control, because it's not going to matter. It'll just save you time, especially when you're climbing up like the lower ranks, right? It won't matter as much, that little nuance of 5% win ratio difference. Yeah, but I'll never believe the queue times for this game, really, because it could be the middle of the night, it could be any time, anywhere. Just people are always playing this game so within a quicker... You're really going to convince me this game has a quicker queue time than Hearthstone, than Magic the Gathering, than all these games that are current and modern and super popular. But no, this game you get a queue time in like 0.5 seconds. Like, how? And even those games are accused of having bots. The only way I could maybe rationalize it is if, well, those games have other regions that people play in, whereas this game doesn't. So you could be playing against somebody in China right now or anywhere. Or what would make more sense is if you're playing against the same people over and over, because those are the only ones that happen to be online. But this will be cute as long as it doesn't die. So you can literally almost OTK his dumbass right now. But you won't, because they'll get the block meter too. Is this going to be the first and best cowboy usage I've ever seen? That's still not a big deal, because you get to... Wait, why did it do it like a second time? Let's see how it actually looks too. Is it really going to be that long-winded every single time you do it? That's too long of an effect, dude. What the fuck? Okay, even then, or no, I guess now you'll stop doing damage. Wait, but I thought, oh, it didn't do damage there either because of the block meter, so it cucks me twice over. The block meter itself stops me from doing damage, but even if that hit counted, then it would have stopped me by using the effect, because it would have 0 attack then. Was finna say bots. I just can't really prove it any definitive way though. There's no easily identifiable way to show it. Their names are sometimes weird. Their ranks are sort of very oddly specific and random, so that doesn't help. It just kind of would make sense. Which chess is the one game where bots are actually better, you know, not only better than people, but arguably just as enjoyable to play or whatever. Although I don't really enjoy it that much, but it's like if you truly believe in the meritocracy of a game, you should do that then. But you wouldn't want to watch the best players in the world play. You would want to watch the engine play because it's still better than them. So the highest quality game is objectively being played there. So it still comes down to, you know, chess is the ultimate meritocracy also. we subvert that just to glorify other people, because like, oh, it's more impressive because a person does it within their limitations than it is for a computer to do it without limitations. But you know, one is still objectively better. So okay, do we at least have a chance here? They're kind of burned out on cards, and the cowboy has stuck around a long time, but it doesn't matter because you get to doesn't matter. They're burnt out. I should just be able to finish it off pretty easily. Or now you'll cuck the one thing I was actually trying to do there, right? Where you won't be able to finish them off like that. Or, oh, this is always the perfect finisher type of play that they can do nothing about, right? Fun and interactive game, by the way. Yeah, they just immediately concede, like, there's nothing you can do about that. It's just bullshit. But then again, what was I saying that's just a better version of that that's like, for a little bit more cost, like the Zombot 9000 or whatever, like you just destroy everything both on the ground and on the whatever. It destroys stuff not just on the ground. Like if you compare those two, so okay, we have 1385. I guess I'm satisfied with that. Let me look at it. So those are the two funny comparisons that you could make. Bray Nana shits all over Bray Nana shits all over this stupid ass thing, right? When played, the zombie hero loses their brains, which means all of them. So it's a 6 mana 4/3, which is not, so it's subpar statting, right? But it's such a great effect because now they can't use anything that whole turn, right? If I'm remembering it, understanding it correctly. And then the other thing is the raw zombie, which is garbage because you get to, and of course, that has to be the one that I have. Like, I don't have Bray Nana, or maybe I had the chance to get it, but I didn't care enough really to bother. We have even 6 of these, so we're kind of, instead of rolling in them, we're trolling in them because we have to fucking put up with how shitty they are. So 6 mana 3/4, so the statting is equally bad, but you lose 2 versus you lose all of them. And then what was the other one I was saying? Well, first of all, the cornucopia thing was, whoops. Was like a worse version of Bad Moon Rising because it just costs so much more, right? It's going to be a 10 cost, and it's going to be make a random plant in each other lane, which is arguably even still worse than Bad Moon Rising because instead of making a random plant, yes, it could be even better than what you get from Bad Moon Rising, but it could be just a random 1/1. So it's the worst effect on that basis. It's 10 mana 6/6, which, you know, obviously Bad Moon Rising is not even a minion. But I don't know, I don't like this effect because it's too expensive of a card, first of all, that it costs 10. It's not really that well statted either. And then making a random plant could be, on average, worse because there's so many low-cost ones to draw from. And then, obviously, compare that to Bad Moon Rising, which is going to be, you know, just transform all into ones that cost 5 or more. Or what's the one that makes you get Gargantuars, though? That's like the Bell one. So even if you compare that too, right, you get to, what? It's like an 11 cost card. That's like the only thing over 10 in the whole game, it almost seems like. But if you're able to do that, what it allows you to do... Oh yeah, it was also this and the one that I currently have. Destroy all plants, period. 9 mana, 9/9. So you don't even suffer in statting. That is so broken because you get to... Okay, here's the Bell. Make 3 random Gargantuars in random lanes, which again, it's good, but... Why did I almost think that Bad Moon Rising said that effect too? Like, create a Gargantua in every lane, or turn every... Not just that it costs 5 or more. On average, that's what it's going to be, because most of the stuff that costs more than 5 is going to be a Gargantua anyway, but it's, what's the other one? Just the stupid-ass thing that brings everything back to their hand. Yeah, so compare that. 9 mana, 9/9 minion that also just destroys everything everywhere, regardless whether it's in the water, on the height. Bounce all plants only on the ground. So think about the layers in which this is worse for, wait, what does that cost again? The, It costs 9, of course. Okay, so 9 mana, 9/9. So for 2 extra mana, you get a full 9/9, right? You go from 0/0 to 9/9, and you also destroy everything, period. So whereas here, you only bounce, so you don't destroy it. So that's a negative. You don't get a minion at all, like not a 7/7. And then you also don't get... not only you don't destroy them, but you are limited too by the ground aspect, where you're not able to whereas that one's not restricted. So that's insane. Guess we could do it now, but I don't. I'm kind of already asleep. We can do it now if you want, or if the game lets us. Or, oh, he's in a ranked match. I guess he can wait a minute here. Do 5 damage to heroes using bullseye cards. And again, as much as I talk trash about the block meter, you would really certainly think that I love that. There's that one Viking guy that I like. Or this UI almost seems a little different. Not only does he have bullseye and he has 5 mana 7/5, which is okay, the regular Illidan statting, but it also wait, who didn't I use here? Did I use Wall Knight? I feel like I didn't. I just won with the zombie, right? So I don't know, I lost track of them already. Whatever, we'll do one game with this, and then I kind of wanted to look at that game that he mentioned, which I already kind of forgot the name. Oh, footsie, because I thought he meant it somehow in real life. I thought he almost meant you get restless with your foot, and you start to just rock it around if you get restless in a game of chess or something, especially at an over-the-board tournament, or that's like some innuendo, fetish, fantasy, femme fatale thing. The femme fatale version of a, you know, like a character in a James Bond movie who's all like, whatever, she's badass and she turns out to be the killer, the villain herself, is like in a chess game. That's a real missed opportunity, like from the Queen's Gambit. Is, again, I'm not even suggesting it, but I'm saying it's just an imagery or a moment or a scene that you could expect to happen. Like, you're in a chess game with this femme fatale type character, and she's losing or whatever, and so she distracts you by giving you a foot job or whatever under the table. It's like the kind of thing that femme fatale characters do. Like, she's smoking a cigarette and then she's doing that. It's in so many movies and stuff like that. So it's like during a chess game, that's a very innocuous thing you can do because it's very quiet. You could do it in a tournament setting. You could, like, you know, whatever. You can do it in a tournament setting, and you could basically just, I guess I can save that, use it to distract and kind of try to win a game that you're otherwise losing. It's a very strange association, but it just felt like something I was almost expecting to see in that. Even if it's not done by her, it's just like by another character to show, like, I'm too good to need to do stuff like that. I'll just be better. Right, and I won't need to exploit something. This is a weird spot to be in. So deal 1 damage, so I'm okay with doing this, I guess. And we can do that stupid ass spike thing to replace one of these. I love these high health values that you get, but it's not actually going to work because, or do anything because... Wait, that didn't even kill, or no, it will kill it now. Oh shit, he's trolling me, dude. This is the environment troll game. Again, I can at least get rid of one of them, but it almost doesn't matter when you have some of these insane values. But I'll still do it anyway, so that's good. And then of course I can always heal stuff too, but I don't even have to yet. So some of this value is actually pretty great. It's just, it's not going to matter in the long term, but oh my god. They just have infinite removal. Holy shit, they're being my whole antithesis in this, in card games overall, that I hate removal and I hate tricks. Like, oh, just play on the board like a man, but obviously their deck is trying to really not do that. It's so weird that this doesn't have team up. I always say that it should. Oh, I hear you like removal, so there you go, dude. Taste of your own clown style of play. They have 4 cards, so certainly we're not in too big of a disadvantage, but I need to, like, every single thing they have an answer, but I guess that wasn't a very efficient answer still. Or I don't know if that's even worth it. Like, you should maybe save that for something stronger, but that's what this deck in particular can make you feel, is that you can't wait because I'll just kind of keep chipping away. This I don't even really want to do, but I kind of have to, though, because I have to get something I can use. I don't like them being stacked up like that, so playing against +2, okay. Alright, at least we can get rid of some of these, but that was a very roundabout way to basically accomplish nothing. Hey, Bame, how's it going? Conjure 2 superpowers. Is this like a just full removal deck with nothing else in there? Because that's what it seemed like. Or I guess he did play like the one gravestone, but all removal, all environments. Gargantua's, oh shit, but it's trying to build up at least towards something. Thankfully, I do have adequate removal for it. When it does damage, it gets +1. I don't need to use the heal yet. So we would have had to have finished them off a lot earlier because now they're just going to have way too much value. They're just trying to keep the board clear and controlled. Now that's what I call board control, where you actually control what the board is by, you know, always doing these environments. But it's amazing how many of them he's actually had. He played like 3 of those mousetrap ones alone. Now he's got more up his sleeve. Oh shit. You gotta conjure a nut, which is okay. Gotta be something really, really good though. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get out value though. In fact, Wall Knight might be the worst thing to play. And the reason why is because, you know, it's going to be more conducive to dragging the game out because it's just, you know, I'd be better off. I should have just played Captain Combustible, but I actually wasn't trying to do that because, I mean, this is the most amount of removal that you've ever seen in your life, basically. But, you know, you want to try to get the game over quickly because if you let it drag out this long, I'm going to lose. They're going to just summon like a million Gargantuars and this and that. I mean, I don't really see what I'm even saving this stuff for. Like, I should just do it. Gargantuars cost 2 less, but they're not playing any of them, so they're just waiting for the opportune moment to burn me out. But I'm still satisfied with the way that my whole board has gone this game. It's been annoying to deal with, and they've had an infinite amount of removal to do so, but it's just like it's not strong enough. That's the problem. Right? They're all just dinky little weaklings the whole time. These animations never get old, but sometimes they take a little bit too long. The crime side effect. That's why that game went offline, because it keeps showing the zoom in on the guy every single game. Like when he's coming up with his deduction or whatever. That was such a good concept for a game, but they just didn't do enough with it, or somehow it just wasn't popular enough. That's one of those kind of games that has to be made by the community. Not like literally designed by the community, but like it's Among Us is so popular. Why? It wasn't that popular when it came out, but because, oh, the streamers did it, and then everybody wants to, whatever, turn it into something else. Make a sappy environment. Sappy place environment. Choose where to put it. We can put it onto there. But see, now how much is that 2 costing even going to matter when... The thing is, I don't really care too much about the board. I kind of need this, though. Like, I could use these, but I'm trying to save them for something better. Right, that comes about later. Now they have strike through, too. I finally have a minion that actually has a good amount of attack. But it's no big surprise that this wasn't even in my deck in the first place, right? Right, like the only good attack value minion that we're gonna have is from something else. Or we would have already won if we had that disco ball, but he would have gotten rid of it a million times over. Astrocado is not a bad attack value either. And so this has 0, this is kind of limited. It almost looks like what I'm playing has a theme to it, but it really doesn't. It's just... You know, maybe I'll try to clear the way a little bit. Like, let's see if he actually has any minion responses. Because since they only have tricks in their deck and like a million of them, right, it's not going to matter because... Oh my fucking god. It's literally impossible, or at least that's a good reason to... But they'll have removal for the pit as well, right? Like, this is a troll, dude. This is a troll. Or yeah, that's the one that, of course, I should get too. I've never seen anybody play it like that many times in the course of a game for it to be good, but if the game does drag out this long, right, you almost would be able to, but you still kind of weren't able to because it just didn't happen in the right order, I guess. Wait. Oh, I can't even do it. Or, I mean, I could do it here and then try to acquiesce to this, but it doesn't seem like the best idea. And of course, if they finally ran out of removal, then that would be good. Or it at least makes them feel silly for trying to use it on the Astrocado, but... Wait, that doesn't bother me, but surely with 11 brains and all these cards, you would easily have a way to deal with the stupid-ass Astrocado. Okay. Yeah, but before combat here, but there is no combat because it can't even attack you, so that should almost... Oh shit, here we go. We'll go like that. The perfect clutch save that's clearly going to win me the game. Their block meter is finally gone, so this is one of those rare games where you actually get through all 3 phases of it. This matchup is so weird, dude. Doesn't this feel like a high level, like, meta type thing? Because I'm gonna fall for the ultimate bait now of using this too many times. Right, like, they're gonna summon something actually bigger that I wish I would have had it for, but I mean, it's not like I don't have enough of them. But this is the whole beauty of it. If we can keep saving that, but it's gonna be impossible. In fact, the environment specifically counter it. I'm getting hard countered. I can even give it an attack value too, but... Right, it won't matter because anything you do is gonna just kill it. Oh no, you can do it here, I guess. Like, we're actually buffing it and then we get to team up and try... Like, he's obviously gonna have a way to deal with that. But now it's just a matter of chipping away at the last of his health, which might actually be doable if I get something, you know, that is a little bit stronger, because now our damage values are just so low, which in a way I find that kind of satisfying too. I like the sort of slow pace that you're kind of... Oh shit, there's my favorite card in the history of the card games, even though not really. I could use that, but again, you're just going to be able to keep playing it. So this shows you a good example of how that's good. Is if you get the game to this point, now you're not going to be able to deal with it ever, and you can't really negate the effect unless I had like that zucchini guy, the zucchini genie that polymorphs everything. Like, these aren't even good plays that he's doing, right? Like, he's just using 4 mana to get 4 brains to get rid of something that's not even good. To the extent that... Yeah, look at this 18 mana that we have, too. That's so insane. Damn, we were so close, too. But just their insane, ungodly amount of removal is just nothing to be scoffed at. You could literally outlast anybody if you play like that, because I've never seen a deck with that much removal in it, unless it's probably the same one that he's played possibly against me before. Oh shit. And yeah, I've even said I don't normally see people use that like that, but okay, dude. Yeah, if it's on an environment. Wow, I should have just played around that by not playing it on an environment, but there is no such place. Like, what the fuck? Or maybe that would have been the play, like just play it on like the height, but it's just impossible. Like, there's objectively nothing I could have done because he literally has 10 times more removal than I do minions. He's got the chicken AoE, he's got all these things. If you're BMing, I don't even mind that. I'm just, the deck kind of has done it for you. Like, just there's nothing I could have done. He just never ran out of it. You would think he would at least burn out or it would slow down a little bit. I wonder what else I even have in here that I could possibly, you know, that's what I was waiting for earlier on. This might actually win me the game somehow if they BM too hard, but I won't feel bad about it. Like, in a way that they might not even be able to prevent. Like, they've already committed to attacking in there, but they've got way too much health, so. But you know what I should have done is I should put it on there so I could deliberately, you know, deal damage with it. Or if I get to heal now, that could actually make the difference. Like, when will they decide that it's too dangerous to keep me alive? Okay, -1. That'll deal damage. Oh no, but it won't heal me now anymore. Oh shit. Wait, but shouldn't the armor? Wait, that's weird. I guess it's just a raw value. I was thinking the armor would prevent that from happening, but it's different than when you actually take damage than just the base -1/-1. So maybe if I put it there, it would have survived, but look how these nuts are hanging on for dear life. All it would take is like one big, strong, well-statted minion, but oh wait, this deck doesn't have any of those, or, you know, it has the ability to last out at least a little bit. It's just too slow because, or it doesn't have like the payoff. You're lasting a long time, but for what? Right? Unless you can beat them down with your dinky little nuts with 2 attack each, you're never gonna get anywhere. Yeah, like, when does this shit even stop? It just goes on forever because why did people almost say at the beginning that it stops at 20? Yeah, like, when the fuck would you ever need 25 brains? I don't even get it. Even if you have some crazy combo that'll go along with that. Attack zombie. I think I very well just might. But I mean, it's sort of the BM phase anyway, so I wasn't really caring about it too much. They clearly won't have removal for this very exciting play that wouldn't even win me the game. Right, even if they didn't have removal. Right, it's still not lethal. Now we're both at 1 health, and I would have no hesitation about even doing this. But they can obviously stop it. You know, this is a poor man's Jade Idol over here. But it's really not nearly as good, or... because that's going to be a summon effect. This is just a buff effect, which is still good, but I can see the appeal, but see how long it took. Like, if a game lasts this long, then that's a whole nother universe that you're in. Like, it's cute, but you know, your deck would actually last forever and be like sort of anti-mill. Although, to be fair, I've never seen actually a mill deck in this game, not once. Where I've never seen anybody deck out, I don't think, either. Although I might be about to deck out. And what's weird about it is, it doesn't even show you your deck. So, like, how many cards do I even have left? I can't even keep track. I got to do it in my head. So that shows you this isn't a casual game. It's actually hardcore, because it forces you to do that they never would, no game has ever done before. Wait, he's actually gonna die then? What? Well, you didn't have to do that. Good game. Oh no, I blundered my zombie hero. Yeah, that deck was definitely very frustrating potentially to play against, and especially, you know, that's not the kind of deck that you should use against it unless I actually have a better Wall Knight kind of endgame play. Okay, see you tomorrow.